Hello, everybody. Here I am again wearing the PSA Spain hat. And I have another guest with me today, which is my dear friend Josie Pont. And she's also part of the conference committee
Mhm.
for PSA, the Professional Speaker Association in Spain. We are together organizing this amazing to be conference that will happen in November 18th. You'll know more. But now I want to talk to share with you a little bit about Josie, what we learned from her. And for that, I just give you a brief introduction of who she is, because this lady has her fingers in many things. She is an educator, trainer, mentor, coach, speaker, and she is, as I said, part of the conference committee at PSA, Professional Speaker Association Spain,
Mhm.
and she's also professional women's development at the Metropolitan magazine in Barcelona, and a cultural director at the American Society in Barcelona. I wonder how do you find time to do all of this, Josie? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that nowadays there are many people have different hats, and I would say women especially wear many different hats. It is this eclectic life that we are actually living. I don't know whether it's very healthy or not, but that's where we are in.
Absolutely. But today here we are talking about, I want to talk about the speaking, Professional Speaker Association with you
Mhm.
to let people know about how speaking is important. And I know when we talked, when we met, you said, well, Tulia, I've been speaking, doing my trainings as a mentor, but I never really put myself the hat of a professional speaker. So now you are on this path. Can you share with us what has been your experience so far?
Well, first, my life I think is very different because, as you know, my background is in the academic world, and I would possibly be sincere to say that all my life I've been on a stage. And if you ask me how is so, if you're not a professional speaker, it's because of I think my expertise in different fields, but as a professor here and also in the States, and also as a trainer when you have to give courses as a mentor or as a coach, you have training courses, and also in the many, many different events where I have hosted, events where we, with different organizations, of course, we've tried to kind of showcase the value of women in different realms. And then people can say to me, oh, you know, Josie, you are a speaker, but never did I consider myself a speaker, because for me that was something I all the time did, but this is not speaking professionally. Come on. So I could never accept this. And one day things changed. And I suppose that it was because of my exposure in all these many different things that people began to get to know me. And then all of a sudden I got telephone calls asking me whether I would be interested in giving speech by different organizations. And I was like, excuse me, me, why me? I'm not a speaker. And they said, wait a minute, we've heard you, you speak well, you communicate well, you are also, you can entertain people. I thought, okay, that's me. So because of that, they said, come on. And the first time I did, I was scared to death because I said, how do you dare to put yourself in front of the public? I mean, they'll see that you're not a professional speaker, right? So that is how I began this kind of totally unknown path. And all of a sudden, I've been speaking in different places. And that's why I decided, Josie, you have to become a professional speaker. Why? Because I have a mission.
Very good. Very good. And this past week, I was interviewing, well, I don't say an interview. I was having a conversation
Yeah.
in the same space with Olga Gaidan, who is also
Yes.
part of a Professional Speaker Association in Spain. And she mentioned that she had a similar experience as yours.
Yeah.
And she said she never really have never put the hat before of a professional speaker before people told her. but you were a professional speaker. And then she realized that for herself, a way of separating that would be, well, yes, I've been speaking in
Mm,
public, in
mm,
many events, in conference, trainings, etc. But once I am paid for it, then I'm definitely a professional speaker. So I think this can be also a differentiation because many
yes,
people are out there is speaking, giving presentations, but in a way, even if they're good on what they're doing, they are not using this as part of their
absolutely.
careers or business professionally.
Yes.
And I think the step is to use this also
Mhm.
as an extra skill, an extra strategy to position our expertise and etc. And then you, Josie, as me and many more, joined the Professional Speaker Association in Spain.
Yes.
Why?
Well, first of all, I would like to say, perhaps to share with you why I felt I wanted to become a professional speaker and change
Mhm.
from the world of the academia to another world. And it's because I said to you that I had a mission, and this is very close to my heart, who I am, how I feel. And this mission is for me to help women actually find their voices so they can
Mhm.
become the agents of change our society needs. This for me is a big thing. So I focus mainly on female entrepreneurship and female leadership. But what does it mean? It means that to be a leader, have to know how to lead yourself, and this implies how you know yourself, self-knowledge. So for me, what I wanted to achieve and I wanted to convey is out of this self-knowledge, how we can learn to actually connect with our values and how we can learn to discover our vision, mission, and achieve our mission. So I was very much into this process of what I can achieve if you are only giving courses and training, and what can be achieved if you have a mission and you can be on a stage kind of sharing all of this. For me, this is the why, the reason
Mhm.
why I have chosen the path. Whether I'm going to be good or not, something to be seen. But that was my motto, so to speak. So that's one thing. Now you asked me why I chose the beautiful SPA Spain. Is that what you asked me? Okay. Once I decided I actually was going to be a professional speaker, I panicked. I said, "You cannot. You don't know. You don't know. You cannot." And people said to me, "Don't be silly, because you already are giving speeches." And I said, "No, no, 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 no. This is not the same." And I remember being at San Diego State when I was living and teaching there, and attending, I would say, a conference every single day. And it was then more than ever that I realized what it is to be a good or a bad speaker, what it is to speak and what it is to communicate. I realized the difference between speaking and being a professional speaker because it's very important. And I said, but why? Don't they know the content? Yes, they do. Don't they speak English clearly? Yes, they do. So what's the problem? So the problem was how things were organized. The problem was delivery. The problem was they were boring to death. So for me, to give a speech is not only to have a good planned content, is to be able to deliver something that people remember, people can learn something from, people can have fun, depending on what your objective is. And to be able to craft a narrative which is appropriate to every single context, considering who the audience is, what the effect you want to obtain. For me, I'm talking about professionally speaking, this is a target not that easily achieved. That's what I thought. Then I thought, okay, Josie, okay, obviously you know a little bit, you know the basics, right? You teach this in your courses. You teach how to give a speech. But what is the basics that many people know? Okay, the basics are possibly how to organize the content, how the brain works. So, to make, for people to remember the beginning or the end, paralinguistic items. You have to remember what about the body language. Don't forget the humor and don't forget the importance of storytelling. Okay, you know the basics. But something very different is to be able to perform using
Mhm.
all these items
Information
in a
and
way
knowledge.
is effective. Like know how and then the skills to carry them out, right? So this is very
Yeah.
different. And then when I thought, okay, you actually need a lot of input. You need to learn, you need to practice, and you need some advice from whom? From really good bunch of professionals. So where do I go? And I was looking and looking and looking, and people said to me, PSA Spain. And I thought, okay. And then I approached you, Julia, remember? And I said, I want to. And you said, no, because, and you actually sold it to me very, very nicely. And I bought it the very first day. I said, yes, that's where I want to be in. But not only did I find what I was looking for, because you join a bunch of real professionals, right? Not somebody like, I mean, there are people like me, perhaps, who have been in the business for a little time, but there are people who have been there for a long, long time. You are one of them. Stephen is one of the one. Our absolute great Mr. Andrew, who is our president, and there are many others. And you have a lot to learn from that. But
Yeah.
not only did I find this, I found a community of
Yeah.
people who are able to share, to learn, and also to be able to help whenever this is needed. And this is not that easy to find.
No, because eh, professional speakers associations all over the globe, some have the reputation of being highly competitive.
Yeah,
It becomes like a pole, like a hub of professional speakers, and everybody's kind of killing each other to have the opportunity to
yeah,
speak. And the important thing is to clarify to our audience there listening. One thing is PSA Spain is about building community, and
mhm,
you explained that very well. We are together to support each other to grow further in the speaking business, because we believe and we have the experience that once you know how to communicate effectively, you can change not only your lives but the lives of many, and the
right,
world will become better, because I'm convinced that the problem the world has is because of lack of communication.
exactly.
And the second thing is important to for people to understand is we learn through having experiences of from other professionals coming and sharing with us. It's not about, we don't give trainings ourselves to outside, but is because I want people to understand it's not for them to come here to learn how to speak. Is
No,
for here to grow together at a professional level. And moving forward now to our Amazing to Be conference that you're
yes,
part of the committee.
yes.
So tell people why they should join us in Barcelona, first, the
Yes,
Amazing Barcelona, November 18th this year.
I will. But if you allow me to, I agree with everything you said, and it is a misunderstanding for people to come thinking they were going to learn, like how to speak. But I want to say that it is also a learning experience, because you every month we have, which is a lot, we have on Tuesdays, right? We have sometimes the gathering of people in the same profession we can listen to, exchange experience, and learn. And then you have some good speakers who give some kind of, let's say, workshops on something. So for me,
Mhm.
this is also, apart from what you have said, also something that I personally think is a learning experience. Now, let's go to your answer, to your question. Why is it important to come? Well, I suppose that anybody who is not from Barcelona will say, wow, the first thing is the surroundings. Okay, people think of Barcelona thinking, oh, I'm going there because there is going to be it's going to be nice weather and good food, blah blah blah. This is true, but I think that here the priority is, what does this entail? And to me, is a word is communication. As you have said, communication is paramount in our lives, and you don't have to be the CEO of a company. You can be a teacher, you can be a parent, you can be a salesman, you can be the leader of a big company or the leader of a team. It doesn't matter. Or you can be the leader of yourself, and it is interior narrative, the way we talk to ourselves. So all of these kind of misleading, misunderstandings, the way that these paralinguistic elements, all of this is something that anybody should learn. So I'm not saying that coming to this conference is what they're going to learn. What I'm saying is we have such an array of very important and very well-known speakers coming from all over the place. We have such a diversity of topics that by only sitting there, and if you want, because of what I do, you take notes and you listen how people deliver, how people move, where they put emphasis, what is the content of what is the mission. You get out of this day full of ideas. Many of them have been taken consciously and many others unconsciously, but they are there. That is one part. I think everybody should attend because of what they can gain. But this is not all. You're also going to have the possibility to be with many people who maybe they are not the same as you, but maybe are like-minded. They always want to connect. So you can have connections on personal or also business-like. So you can have lots of connections. You never know what's going to happen. You're going to have fun. You're going to have good food. And you're going to have an amazing day. What else do you want me to say?
I have nothing else to say. You sold us very well. So for the ones listening there, if you don't get your ticket now, I don't know what's happening to you, because Josie has been amazing.